We've been avoiding just about every spoiler, but Bungie just debuted their new season, which is called Season of the Splicer. If you've already watched this trailer, feel free to skip to the timestamp above. But if you have not, watch this right now.
This morning, for the first time in humanity's long and storied history, the sun did not rise. It's a Vex simulation that has plunged the city into an endless night. Osiris and I could only think of one we might turn to. Mithrax. He claims to be among the last sacred splicers. Those with the power to commune with machines. Find him, Guardian. Before the Vex do.
We must splice an entrance to the Vex network. I can guide you, but I cannot follow. Once inside, you must find your own way.
How you like it? Dramatic? Akora Ray is back? Vex is in the fold? Mithrax, baby? Now, before we do what we normally do, which is like us diving into the trailer, I actually want to start from Bungie's page. This is actually their Season the Splicer debut page. And let's start with the story. An endless night. The Vex have plunged the last city into an endless night, threatening the safety once found beneath the watchful presence of the Traveler. It is here, bathed in perpetual moonlight, that Akora reveals the identity of an unlikely ally that may hold the keys to triumphing over this attack. Now look at Mithrax. Look at him. Is Lord of Wolves going to be meta again? Are we going to get an exotic catalyst for Lord of Wolves? Now, allies bound by light. Mithrax, Kell of the House of Light, leads a small group of Eliksni who wish to be closer to the Traveler. As a sacred splicer, he possesses the knowledge needed to combat the Vex technology that ensnares the last city. There is a bond of light shared here. Will it be enough? Is it not going to be a little awkward when Mithrax shows up and he sees all the Guardians wielding stasis? Is that not going to be like slightly awkward? Now moving on to the helm upgrade. So the helm's actually getting an upgrade here. Bungie states the new chamber overlooking the loading bay has been completed. It is here that the Vanguard will harness new splicer tech and plan the response to the Vex incursion. Now, it seems like the overall helm is still going to be the same, but we'll be able to go into, I guess, the loading bay, which may have like Mithrax and maybe a few other allies there. Now, moving on to Way of the Splicer, starting with Override. This is actually going to be a new 6-player made activity. Fire teams of 6 will use splicer tech to hack the Vex network, uncover their secrets, steal their code, and use their power against them. I'm almost like getting Season the Dawning vibes from all of this, but you got like a splash of Fallen in there, right? But like the overall aesthetic is the Prophecy Dungeon. Moving on, we also have the weekly Pinnacle mission called Expunge. Each week, Guardians will uncover new vulnerabilities within the Vex network and use splicer keys to infiltrate and collapse it from within. Definitely going to be an exotic tie to this, right? Has to be. Now we have a screenshot here of what looks to be the Override activity. It looks like it's taking place on First Light, which is interesting. And then of course a screenshot of Vault of Glass. The Time Lost raid returns. Stored away deep in the Vault of Glass on Venus is Atheon, Time's Conflux. No one knows what this Vex is. Guardians must access the vault out, navigate the fractures in space and time, and terminate Atheon before it becomes an unstoppable threat. Now remember, this area is not a public area. It's not like how it was in Destiny 1, where it was open to the patrol areas. The access to Vault of Glass will be instance-based, which means we won't necessarily be able to go explore Venus. How does the story work in all of this, right? Like, that's what I'm kind of trying to understand. Is it just like, yo, it's a Vex, Atheon, he can manipulate time, yada yada, that's why we gotta kill him again. I'm just trying to understand what the lore is gonna be behind this. Regardless, you don't have to really talk me into going and killing Atheon again. I'm completely down. Fatebringer, please be good. Moved on to Bungie rewards. Tales of the daring descent into the Fable Vault just seems a little grander when everyone's wearing matching rings, jackets, and sitting in front of art that immortalizes your fire team's triumph. Oh, look at the jacket. It's even got the Vex vibe there in the inside. Oh, look at the ring. That's kind of sexy. Like, no lie. That's a fire ring. And then, of course, a picture of the Fate Breaker seal, which must be the new seal coming for Vault of Glass next season. Dude, for real, I might actually check out that ring. Moving on to armor synthesis. Oh boy, it's bold of Bungie to not have said anything leading up to armor synthesis, considering the backlash that occurred. But man, maybe they will, maybe they have. I don't even know. I haven't seen anything. I do know, based off of the trailer though, Transmog is very much a part of this season, which takes us to #1. Number 1 waifu is back at the tower, fellas. Grow your collection among the stars and forge your look in the last city. Every journey and every guardian is unique. Your armor should be too. With the help of #1, Guardians will recover Braid Tech secrets from Europa that allow the building of a device known as the Loom. Once operational, #1 will safeguard the Loom. Honestly, that looks just like a giant loom. Remember the loom from Beyond Light season? It's like a giant version of it. This will grant Guardians the ability to create synth weaves. And then synth weaves unlocks the power to turn almost any piece of armor into a universal ornament. Alrighty, let's go. Look, Bungie has not said anything about the cap. They have not said anything about silver. Eververse purchases, the fact that you could purchase synth weaves. They know exactly what they're doing. Day 1, people are gonna come in there and literally drop hundreds, if not thousands of dollars to transmog every single item into a universal ornament. And then like maybe afterwards, Bungie might actually start talking about all that in regards to removing the cap. What I'm trying to say, fellas, like I said in our previous video, I wasn't necessarily holding out that Bungie was gonna change anything in regards to Eververse. Like Dado said, Eververse is foreververse. Moving on to armaments. Over 30 new and reprised legendary weapons to crash the Vex network with. Find the perfect weapon, the perfect role, and bring it into this endless night. Oh, look at these guns, man. That is some sexy looking weapons. You know how I said a second ago, it's reminding me of Season of the Dawning? Look at this. It's very similar to Season of the Dawning, but with like a splash of prophecy. But I see a pulse rifle and auto rifles. One of these are 720s, a sidearm, and one of them kind of looks like a shotgun, maybe a GL. Now moving on to some of our exotics. Star Eater Scales. This allows Hunter to feast upon orbs of power, charging the super more quickly and making it more potent. Interesting. Normally I'm not a big fan of like exotics like this because we got so many that dip into our supers, right? But depending on how much it actually boosts the damage, I don't think many of us thought that the Yeet exotic for Titans was going to be S tier, and then it was. Path of Burning Steps. Titan armor that converts solar eliminations into increased weapon damage and makes them more difficult to lock down with stasis. What? Okay, I might not ever take these off. Bungie's actually giving us something to combat stasis with, and it makes sense. Solar should combat stasis. Now, solar eliminations. I'm assuming that can be solar eliminations with weapons that do solar damage, right? Dude, this on Bottom Tree hammers with Sun Warrior. Moving on to Boots of the Assembler. Condenses a Warlock Rift's healing or empowering rift energy into projectiles that seek out their allies to bless them with noble benefits. Holy hell. So it's essentially noble rounds on Lumina. Now, the question is, can this stack with Lumina? Dude, if you had this plus Lumina, plus Lumina's exotic catalyst, you would just be a healing machine. Of course, it completely depends on how many of these projectiles comes from condensing your healing or empowering rift. If it's 5, oh my god, there's your raid team. And depending on how far the projectiles could actually pick up and track to your teammates, this could for real be one of the best exotics, especially for my warlocks that like to play support. Now moving on to the Season Pass. Gear, XP, and rewards. Get the Season Pass and instantly unlock the new exotic Stasis Sidearm. Also get XP boosts that speed up seasonal ranks and reward track unlocks. All right, so let's start with, of course, the exotic sidearm, which looks fantastic. You saw it there in the trailer. This is an exotic stasis sidearm, which makes sense because Bungie here recently talked about in the TWABs about weapons doing stasis damage. As a token of friendship, Mithrak bestows Guardians with cryosthesia. Dude, I know I just butchered that name, fellas. I've never been good at names. But this cryo sidearm is a stasis-powered sidearm with liquid cooling tech. Now, when we looked at it in the trailer, notice he got a couple shots in, and it looks like precision shots maybe. And then he proceeded to activate the gun, similar to like Symmetry, which then allowed him to insta-freeze this Vex. Now, I know some of you are asking, how will this work in PvP? Well, if it works like this means, you know, you get some shots or maybe a kill off with a sidearm, and then you load a stasis, super bullet, and then you freeze people. Thus, the rage continues. Look, will it be OP? I have no idea. I do know that sidearms, depending on their archetype, is gonna be the big one here. Because if this sidearm sucks, default-wise, then it doesn't really matter. Like, if you can't get a kill inside of PvP, it's not like it's gonna actually be able to do anything with that insta-freeze shot. However, most sidearms really are good, and I don't think that Bungie's gonna ship us a bad sidearm here for both PvP and for PvE. I think that this sidearm is going to be really good, and considering that Bungie is targeting shotguns, it's obvious that Bungie's trying to like move us in a direction towards some of these other weapons, sidearms being included. Now, Splicer Gauntlet, sacred Splicer tech, they can be charged with ether and used to have Vex networks, access conflicts, chests, and unlock Splicer upgrades. Ah, okay. Is that the artifact? Am I getting that right? Too bad we can't see the artifact mods right now. And then, of course, universal ornaments. Unlock new seasons of the Splicer universal ornaments and augment the look of any piece of armor in your collection. Now, looking at the season pass right here, pretty much what we disclosed is what's going to be present there. You do have what looks to be a machine gun. I think it's a machine gun in the season pass, as well as a shotgun. Interesting. And then, of course, ornaments and other things throughout the season pass. Now, we also have a roadmap. Let's start from the very beginning. May the 11th. Intro mission, armor synthesis, and the endless night will begin. It's kind of crazy. That's next week. Also, new stasis aspect quests will also begin, as well as override. All of this launching at reset next week. Now, May the 14th, we'll have Trials of Osiris. May the 18th, Ironbender and Override present on the moon. Gotcha. So May the 11th, Override will be present on Europa first. May the 22nd, which will be a Saturday, Vault of Glass will open up. May the 25th, weekly Pinnacle mission Override Tangled Shore, which I thought was pretty awesome. That spider in the trailer was talking to us as we were on the Tangled Shore. Interesting how he's going to be tied to the story. Always love it a lot more when Spider's involved. We also have the weekly Pinnacle mission beginning June the 1st. So whatever that mission's going to be, I think it's probably going to be on the same level as like Presage. But considering the vibe Bungie is trying to go for, they may make it wild. It may be something on the level of like Whisper's mission. Now, June the 8th, Ironbender will begin a new weekly Pinnacle mission. And I guess this mission just keeps updating. So it actually adds to the story and whatever's happening lore-wise. June the 15th, Vault of Glass Raid Challenge. June the 22nd, another update to this weekly Pinnacle mission. June the 29th, Ironbender, as well as another update to this weekly Pinnacle mission. I'm actually really excited about these missions, by the way. Like, looking at the background, see how much it changes to each one of them? Solstice of Hero will begin on July the 6th, as well as Vault of Glass difficulty options. There it is. That's been something the PvE community's been asking for, but difficulty options, and I'm assuming difficulty will scale with rewards, right? Like, choosing higher difficulty should result in you getting more rewards from Vault of Glass. That's the way it should be. Hopefully that's the case here. But yeah, that's coming back. Solstice of Hero ends on August the 3rd. And August the 10th, we will get Epilogue. Which, notice like Epilogue there has like a background overlooking the last city in darkness. Well, guys, that is your roadmap. For some screenshots, let's go. We've got Europa looking kind of sexy. Our Pinnacle mission, whatever that's gonna be. Again, prophecy vibes. Mithrax flexing for us. Thank you. Sepix 4.0 or 6.0. I don't know. We've also got, what the hell is that? Is that a Vex Minotaur? It looks extra horny. Look at the spikes on its back and on its head. Is this gonna be like the new Praetorians? Tangled Shore and our new 6-player activity. The Loom. Yo, look at this. Look how you've got the fabric everywhere. That's awesome. I told you, fellas, we're just gonna be spinning flax all next season, or just sitting there dropping mad silver, one or the other. And then, of course, what looks to be more of our Pinnacle mission. Guys, those are your screenshots. That is your season of the Splicer. Trailer wise, there was only one other thing that kind of like poked itself out for me. Was actually this scene right here where our Guardian is holding what looks to be like a stasis relic, like an ice relic. One of that's gonna be tied to the new 6-player activity. Other than that, that's pretty much it from us, guys. I am hyped. I always like new seasons. I like new missions. I like new content. Like, overall, New content's always a good thing. I wish Bungie would have addressed Transmog going into this new season, considering it is very much front and center, a part of this season. However, we do have a 12 from now until then, so maybe then, I don't know. But let me know in the comments below what you think of this. Are you excited about Season the Splicer? Are you ready to play Vaulted Glass? By the way, if you have not subscribed, please do, fellas. We do this every week, man. We're gonna be live next week, right here on YouTube, playing all of this content, as well as live streaming the Day 1 Vaulted Glass raid. Well, fellas and ladies, thank you all for coming and watching, and as always,
Slap that like button like your mama told you right.